Good evening, all, and welcome to Calbar's Corner for this week's Whatcha Playing Wednesday. I'm Lord Calbar Geiler, Companion of the Meridian Cross, Companion of the Argent Comet, Companion of the Argent Lamp, Osprey, and Reaper, coming to you live from the barony of the Osprey on the southern coast of Meridies. Tonight, I'm joined by Thegn Samson Muskovich, or Samii, as we call him. Welcome, Your Excellency.
Thank you.
I'm so happy you got to come tonight, and especially after you're like, man, I need to learn to play Tafl as a proper Norseman of regal bearing. I need to learn to play Tafl. And I was like, you know what? We can fix that. Why don't you tell us a little about yourself, where you're from, and those things.
So I am Thegn Samson Muskovich, also known as Samii, as Cal has mentioned. I currently reside in the barony of Carraig Ban, where I currently am one of the two barons that is tenured here. My counterpart is Baron Hnefatafl, who is he has a Japanese persona. So we have a split persona tenure reign. I'm not quite sure how we term it still, but
sure.
So yeah, I've been in the SCA for about 7 years, which is really exciting.
Oh.
And yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to be here and learning how to play basically Viking chess. So
tonight's game, Hnefatafl, is I think it gets called Viking chess, and it largely is, I think, but it is probably the only Viking board game that really we see a lot of. I don't play it nearly enough, but I do love it. It is so simple to teach, but it looks super complicated. So it's a neat thing to do that. So anyways, all right. So for tonight, I've done a little weird thing. So for those watching, I'm going to try something a little different tonight. So I'm going to see if I can get help from myself in the past to explain tonight's rules. Let's see if this works. Hey, thanks, Future Cal. So, Hnefatafl is a variant of chess or checkers in the Norse culture dating back to the 5th or 6th century. And there are mentions of the game throughout the Codex as the earliest being the Volspa 60. Generally, the mentions are to various pieces or even to the board itself. For instance, in the Hnefatafl saga, there's a riddle that relates to the games. Who are the maids that fight weaponless around their lord? The brown ever sheltering, and the fair ever attacking him. Obviously, this is a allusion to the pieces, with the brown pieces being the ones defending the king, and the white or fair being the ones attacking. Now, the rules we're going to go over here are not well documented until post-period. The rules that have been found in period correlate to those with some standard variances, as to be expected. Now, the standard or most common board size is an 11 by 11 grid, with the center and each corner being marked differently. Other sizes were used, but always in odd numbers, 7 by 7 ranging up to 19 by 19, in other variations of Hnefatafl. The pieces consist of 1 king, taking the center square, 12 defenders, pieces that match the king's colors, and 24 attackers, or pieces of a different color. Generally, the king's colors were darker, and the attacking forces were lighter. The number of pieces do change as the board size changes, but generally there are always twice as many attacking as defending. As with most games, players will decide who goes first by whatever means they'd like. Generally, the players will take turns both attacking and defending. As this is asymmetrical, the win conditions are different, therefore skills required for different playstyles. The board is then set up as seen here, with the defending player occupying the center squares and the attacking player occupying each side. Black always moves first, or in this case, the attacking player always moves first. The goal for the defending player is to have the king escape to one of the 4 corners of the board without being captured. The object for the attacking player is to capture the king and prevent his escape. Pieces move like rooks in chess, where they can move orthogonally, or in a straight line, both horizontally or vertically, as few or as many spaces as are open. To capture a piece, the 2 opposing pieces must be flanking the other piece or on either side of it, which would then cause it to be removed from the board. The corner squares are considered hostile and can be used to capture for either side. The king can be used for capturing pieces just like any other. However, it has a special rule for how it is to be captured. For the king to be captured and thus defeated, he must be surrounded on all 4 sides, either by hostile pieces or by hostile squares. The capture can also include 1 friendly piece if they are both incapable of moving. Lastly, a piece may move between 2 pieces, moving into capturing or flank position without being captured. The capturing player has to make a move to finish the capture. Any questions? Future Cal can help you out. Back to you. Thanks, Pascal. Right, that was my little bit of hope for the week. How about that? Okay. So, questions? How was that? Does it make sense?
It did. Honestly, like the best way I learn is to actually get in and do it. So let's play.
I like that. All right, give me just a second. Let me get that screen up, and we'll do that. All right. So I will give as the so we should have time to play both sides because one of the things about this is, as I mentioned, is it's best to play it both from both directions because each your attacking and defending has different win conditions. You may be better at one side or the other. So just playing, it's like whereas checkers, it's the same. It's not, or chess is always the same. It is a little different. So I think we'll probably end up doing both. We should have time. So would you like to attack or defend first? I'll let you choose.
Yeah, I think I'll attack first.
Okay. All right. So then you will be playing the outside pieces, and you will actually get to move first.
All right.
And if you will, as you play, sort of talk through what you're doing. Let us know, why you did certain things, and I promise I will not use it against you as strategy wise.
So right now I'm just observing the board and deciding where I want to go first. Because of the fact that I've got experience playing chess, like traditional chess, I'm trying to evaluate it using that.
Right. It's very similar as far as the ideas of how you have to look multiple moves ahead. Essentially, it's you're playing chess with a bunch of rooks from 4 different directions. That's a really weird place. There's 4 different directions.
Right.
All right. Let's see. Oh, I need to get the right screen up. I can't play from this screen. There we go. All right. Interesting. We're going to start making a little hole over here. So I play when I'm defending. Sort of my goal is always to create a hole sort of in a direction. And it depends on obviously the attacking player how aggressive they are from any one direction. But I have to remember that I have less pieces, and I have to remember that because you have more pieces, you can play sacrifice, and you can throw things at me that I then have to deal with, and I end up losing 1. That's a bigger deal than you losing 1.
True.
Yeah, it is your turn.
All right.
All right, and I am not seeing comments coming in, so I'm going to check that real quick.
Sure, no problem.
If you're commenting on Facebook or YouTube, give me a moment. I will look that up because it doesn't seem to be coming through StreamYard again, which is just always fun when technology doesn't want to work right.
Right. Oh, okay. Well, I see your comment on Facebook asking people to...
Is it okay? Yeah. So it seems comments are going out. I was seeing if anything else was commenting because
right.
Usually at least one of my girls has said something by now. So but it looks like they haven't. Okay, cool. As long as they haven't, that's fine. I just want to make sure I wasn't actually missing something.
Right.
I did a stream for the Outlands one time where I was halfway through the stream and we weren't getting comments and I couldn't figure out why. I was like, oh, the crowd was really quiet tonight. No, it turns out I just wasn't getting comments, and I was and when you're dealing with their majesties fielding questions, it's not good to not give them their questions.
This is very true.
So
So usually when I play chess, I like to stack my defense a little bit.
Okay. Yep.
Or in this case, like stack my attack.
Right. All right. So let's do. I slid down to the bottom there.
Yep.
I was putting the board together and I was like, all right, I got to find pieces. I was like, oh, I could pull out little pots or coins. I was like, nope, we're fighting. We're gonna have fighters. That's what we're doing.
Awesome.
One of the things I didn't mention in the history was the idea of this game and of all of the Hnefatafl variants is that it's always a hall or some central place being defended. So the idea of this is this king in his hall at feast being attacked from all sides.
Right.
The other variants, there's obviously smaller and larger versions of it's a camp, or there's even one that's a sea battle where it's all on the ships being defended.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a 19 by 19 board, I think. It's a much larger.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of the naval battle version, but I've never played it. I mean,
Right.
obviously, it sounds very interesting.
Yeah, we'll probably do maybe in a month or so. You and I can do a follow-up episode. And we'll do some of the variants.
Sure.
Once you've learned the basic, right?
Right, and played it a few
Yeah.
times. Yeah, actually, one of my Barony members, I shared the link to my Barony page earlier this week, and he's like, "I know how to play Tafl," and I'm like, "That's great because I want to learn. I want to play more."
Right.
Which is awesome because he actually lives literally so I live in an apartment complex,
right.
And he actually lives right across the street from me.
Oh, okay, that's convenient then, yeah.
So yeah.
All right, so we have a question popped up. So I slid my king over there. It may not have been as obvious.
Yep.
So Patrona actually asked, what is the significance of previously occupied squares having a knotwork art left on it? So the knotwork art that's there is literally just for setup. So you'll see that the center square and the corner squares are different because those are the king squares and king squares only. There are small knotwork spaces around the central square that are the defending spaces, and then large knotwork around the attacking spaces. That's literally just decoration to show for board setup. You'll see various different decorations for different persona development. Different cultures have played similar games. Some things I've been working on recently was trying to do making other persona versions of period games like this. So doing this except like in a Japanese style. Same game, but you reskin it essentially with I keep trying to move pieces on my StreamYard screen and it does not work.
No, it does not.
It does not work. Because they're largely about the same size on my screens when I'm toggling back and forth, so I don't necessarily immediately notice the difference.
Right.
I'm like, I could just keep the Roll20 screen up, but then I can't see you, and that bothers me. So I have to consider that.
Yeah, I mean, so thankfully I have two screens set up on mine, so I've got the game screen actually set up so I can watch where I'm doing. I actually have the focus on there, and then the StreamYard screen is on my off side one that I usually keep Discord up at.
Right.
So it works.
All right, so my king is moving out. I will. So there is a rule I will mention that I don't personally play by, and I haven't put any of my rule set templates. But if the attacking player has the king one move away from being captured, they're supposed to declare it sort of in a check fashion.
Gotcha.
I think that's totally uncultured and like the Vikings would not have done that. Like that's not a Norse thing. They'd be like, nope, you didn't see it, your fault. It's very much a post-period rule of people play chess, people play Tafl. They added the chess rules. So, and there's really no way to know when the king's one move away. It's generally very obvious if you're paying any attention to the king. So, I think declaring check or declaring checkmate is sort of almost unnecessary.
Right. No, I understand that.
That came up. When I was doing the prep for this, it came up as a question. I was like, I don't know. Let me look that up because I didn't have it in my rules and I was curious.
Right.
All right. Let's see here. All right, you did just move, right? I didn't miss that.
I did move. So I moved that. I'm starting to put pieces in play.
Gotcha. Okay, want to make sure. All right. Okay. I will admit I am playing this a bit more aggressively than I might have ordinarily, but because of the way you chose to defend, or you chose to
Fair.
come to attack rather. All right.
Oh, that was silly.
And I am pretty sure that's going to have me winning.
Probably.
Yeah.
So
because you can't occupy the corner square, and you have to have two pieces. You have to have one of the two spaces already occupied. So if I have one to the left or one on top, and it won't matter. I can still escape to the right.
Yep.
So that is round one, sir.
Yeah. Well.
So that's Tafl. All right. So give me a second. I'll reset the board, and we'll switch sides.
Right.
So that was actually interesting. That was a bloodless game of Tafl. There was not a single piece taken either side.
There wasn't, even though I'm like, okay. And that's all right. So I have to admit, I'm kind of excited about the special edition of Between Two Peers tonight.
Oh yeah, so I was watching the clock. I was like, okay, we're gonna make sure we cut it an hour tonight because I don't want to miss Helga and Tulia.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's going to be a little spicy tonight, and that should be fun.
That's true. So okay, so for those maybe just tuning in, because I know I've got some new subscribers this week. So one of the shows that I personally watch and Samii does as well, and actually it's where Samii and I met, was Between Two Peers, which is Her Grace Sir Helga and Magister Tulia do a weekly show on Fridays where they interview another person from the known world. And it gets a little silly and they get a little crazy and they tell all sorts of fun SCA stories based on submitted questions. But tonight they're doing a special episode of the supercharged questions and the ones that are going to be a little more or a little less PC maybe than I think they usually would on the show. So yeah, having seen some of the questions, I'm super interested to see which one they pulled in tonight.
Uh-huh.
All right, we are reset, and I will I guess I will attack this time. Let you play the other side, and we'll see what happens.
Sure.
All right. Coming down from the top there. And for those watching, if you have any questions, please feel free to throw them in the chat. And I mean questions about the game or questions for Samii or I. If you want to know all about Samii's personal histories and his opinions on things, throw them out there. I'll totally make him answer them because I can do that.
Sure.
It's fun.
I mean, this is kind of what I signed up for, so.
That's right. Well, it's like when I started this, I was like, I didn't want to do an interview show because there was already so many interview shows in the SCA. I wasn't really interested in doing that. But sometimes it's interesting to toss it in as we're playing. So a rule that I want to clarify too, since I'm about to take advantage of it a bit. The attacking player or the player that's capturing has to be the one to initiate the capture. So you'll see if I move there between the two pieces at the bottom, even though I'm technically in a captured position, it doesn't automatically capture me. You have to make the move to capture it.
Gotcha. I see.
So sometimes there's some strategy of forcing movement, and what did you just do? Hold on, what did you just do?
I captured you.
Did you jump it?
Is that what I do? No.
No. So you have to so undo. You can actually just control Z, I think. Nope, that controls Z too much. Oh no. Hold on. So capturing in this is not. So it's funny that our first one happened. Let me put you back and put me back. Okay. So capturing is so you have to be flanking them. So for instance, I'll move a piece for you here. If you move this bottom piece to here, you then have me flank top and bottom. So that then causes it to be captured.
So where you're at currently, though, I'm currently flanking you.
Correct. So that's the weird thing, because I moved into that hole, and you didn't initiate that. I'm safe. If you move another piece around me to flank me, or you move one of those pieces out and back in, it will then capture me. But so you have to be the capturing player has to be the one to initiate the capture.
Gotcha. So gotcha.
Yeah. So that's one thing. So that's what I was mentioning is that I can use that to my advantage to force you movement. So right now you have a choice: either leave me sitting there and now you're vulnerable, at least in one direction,
right?
Or you have to move a piece to capture me, because I'm in an opportune position. And I'm also blocking one of your avenues, which was my goal. So yeah, because I put myself there, you didn't surround me.
Right. Okay. I gotcha.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, so there's a couple different games that have a similar mechanic. Like the Duodecim Scriptorium. What's the other game I played? The Ludus Lenticolorum that are similar, like sort of rook style games. Some of them do that where if you're captured no matter whether you initiate it or not. And then some of them have where you have to initiate capture to be in a threatened position or whatever. So realistically, you could play it either way. Most of the Tafl rules that I've found have it where you have to be the one initiating.
Gotcha. Which makes sense.
Right. There was I think it was one of the Ludus games I played where instead of doing a direct capture, it focused on, it was board position based. And if you were flanked, you were considered immobile. You weren't removed until the other player chose to remove you as an action, but you were considered like grappled or like stuck.
Right.
If you were flanked. It was a really weird thing. It made board state really difficult to keep track of. We were having to mark them all.
I bet.
It was super confusing. Like I did not want to play that game ever again. Like it was fun, but like I was like, I won't. No, I'm good. I can play. There are better games to play.
Right.
All right. So it is your turn, sir.
Yep.
I'm surprised Patrona's being so quiet out there. I'm surprised she's not heckling me or something. My girls are quiet. Patrona's quiet. Like, we're not getting any heckling tonight.
Right.
Everybody's saving all their salt for later.
So move and then capture.
Right. So yeah. So that you initiate the move, then you can capture. That's exactly right.
All right. Perfect.
And that may not have been the best move for me. Like I sort of did that as here's a thing, but it also does force you movement. So like I don't mind it as a rule. All right. Let's see here. I'm gonna do that. Yes. All right. And the flanking does have to be opposite sides.
I think as much.
Yeah. Except for the king, and the king has to be covered on all four sides.
Right.
All right. So on you.
Yep.
Oh, Patrona's still working. Oh, okay.
Oh.
I won't give her crap then.
Yeah, it's getting towards peak season for them. So yeah, so there's a lot of that right now.
I get that.
Yep.
She knows I have to poke at her. she would think I was mad at her if I didn't, right?
Right. Well, you know.
She shared it. She shared the one of the posts earlier for me, and like she actually put a content warning on me, and I was like, I'm hurt. It's true, but I'm hurt.
I said, does it really surprise you though?
It doesn't at all.
Okay then.
I try to be a little more well mannered on this show versus like my one I do with Helga, which I put the content warning on the screen for. It's just easy.
Well, it's like I'm getting caught up on the show that you do with Helga with the own your shit.
Unpack your shit, yeah.
Yeah, unpack your shit. It's really, really fascinating to listen to you guys. I'm like, I keep wanting to jump in and like interact with you guys, like as you're discussing stuff, because there's a lot of really good content, and yeah, it's good.
I've been enjoying it. It's a really fun thing. I'm glad Helga has time, because good God, she's not busy enough right now, right?
Right.
Yeah, I've been really happy that she's made time for that, because I've learned a lot, and I'm glad others are enjoying it.
Yeah.
All right. Making a hole up top. I'm going to go ahead and slide up and do a little capturing down here.
Oh, I was an idiot. All right.
It's one thing about this game is it's very tough to keep track of, because you're playing on 4 sides, especially when you're defending.
It
is you have to watch all the different angles. It is very very difficult.
It is. It's like I went to North Shield Coronation 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I guess 2 years ago. Yeah, it was 2 years ago. So it was because it was before the first time I went to Penzic, and I was up there just taking photographs, and His Majesty comes up to me. He's like, went over to him because he was playing 4-person chess. And I'm like, this is fascinating, because I've played chess, but I've never seen 4-person chess.
Right. So
he invited me to come play, and I'm like, okay, cool. Because I mean, if even though I was visiting from the Mid Realm, if a sovereign asks you to sit down and play a game, you don't really
sit down and play a game. Exactly.
You sit down and play the game. So yeah, I ended up playing. I ended up learning how to play 4-person chess with His Majesty North Shield.
Nice. That's a good way to learn a game, though.
It is. It was very, very cool.
All right. So what you got? Where you headed? Where you running to? Also, I don't know if you're seeing the comments, but Helga said, and I quote, that we both rock.
Aw.
Also, look at her little baby face. Oh my goodness.
I know, right?
That is the baby face.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so yeah.
We're gonna catch. Well, I'm gonna catch crap for saying that, and I'm okay with it.
I'm pretty sure we both will.
Probably. You laughed, so it's your fault too now.
Well, so I actually figured, like, I was trying to figure out a while ago, like, how old she was, and I'm like, oh, like, you're only a few months younger than me. Okay, cool.
Right.
I thought that she was possibly older than me by a couple years, because of how well she.
Grace is so worldly. She seems so much older and so much more mature. That's what it is, right?
Well, yeah, and that's, one of the things I love doing is I love surrounding myself with people who know more than me and who have had different experiences than me.
That's smart. That's definitely a good way to live.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really great way to learn too. I'll move right there.
All right. Also, I see Her Excellency, Baron Constance has joined us this evening as well. Welcome.
Excellent.
Excellent. All right, let's see. I need to accomplish something good here.
Okay.
Hang out right there. See what happens. One of the things I found out when I was playing the other night, sort of just refreshing myself when I was defending, I found out actually losing a couple pieces wasn't that bad, because it does free you up some room.
Right.
So when you start out, you're boxed in. And it's actually difficult to get the king moving. It's one of those, like, it's a weird thing. Like, yeah, sure, take a couple pieces from one point.
Right.
Thank you, Their Excellency. My apologies. I was trying to make that right, and I mucked it all up. My apologies, Their Excellency. Your Excellency. Pronouns are hard, and honorific titles are even harder when you can't get them both right. And I apologize, and I'm doing better.
Of course, I'm eating cheese cubes and grapes because it's actually good.
As a proper Viking, you're sitting there, you're eating and playing games. That's what you should be doing, right?
Right.
This works. You remind me of when Seto was on Between Two Peers. when he was like just lounged back eating his grapes.
You know,
That was the best.
So funny thing about Seto. So I was looking through my Facebook memories a few days ago, middle of the night at work, because there were no calls going on, and also we were talking on the Between Two Peers Discord about early armor. Mm-hmm. So Seto was one of my 2 authorizing marshals when I first got authorized.
Oh, cool.
When he was still an unbelt.
Right. That's neat. He's a cool guy. I really enjoyed. I enjoyed his watching the end of his reign, and some of the stuff they did, because they were some of the people that did some of the really early digital courts, and like that was I enjoyed getting to watch some stuff. Like I don't often cry at other people's courts, like people I don't know. I cried at one of their courts just because it was like they did a good job at some of the stuff they did. So yeah, like I appreciate him as a person. Like I've never met the man, never talked to him other than like a little bit on Discord one night, but I'm looking forward to meeting him one day.
If you get a chance to come out to the Mid-Realm, he is an absolutely wonderful individual, and I mean he's one of Patronus' best friends.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's an absolutely wonderful individual. I'm gonna go ahead and just move up here.
Yeah, and there are plenty of those around, so it's definitely not lacking wonderful people right now.
Truth. Like I'm actually really looking forward once COVID gets managed to.
All right, I'm going to pause you for just a second because I do need to point a rule out. So you'll notice I just slid a piece down, and it did actually cause a double capture.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yep, because we both have.
It does not happen often, but it does. It is flanking you in 2 different directions there.
Yep.
That was actually, I will admit, that was unintentional. I was shooting for the bottom guy. I did not notice the other side until I got down there. I was like, oh, that's a thing. Oops. Oh, well. Yeah.
And, given that this is my first time playing, like, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to probably lose all of the bouts, and I really don't care. I'm having fun.
That's the important part. And you know what? You're making me look good. I've literally never won a game while on the show, so this is maybe my night.
Oh, that's right, because last time you had Tulia and Tulia Thorfinn, like the Between Two Peers crew on, and
it started out so good. It was such a good. It was a rough night, man.
It was a rough night for you. I know that Tulia walked out like a queen.
Yeah. Yep. All right, so you got some room to move now, at least.
Yeah, a little bit.
You're actually gonna have them back. Or some of them. I'm not sure how many of them will be back on. Actually, the next show. So 2 weeks from now, we're doing Liar's Dice. So
awesome.
That'll be a fun night. How that plays out.
That'll be really fun to watch. I've never played Liar's Dice. Well, it's like I asked in chat, like, what is that? So it'll be.
So yeah, there's 2 versions. We're actually going to play both of them. Largely the sort of mechanic is the same, and I won't get into that. So you tune in next time and you'll see that. But they're largely the same idea. It's more about the dice become sort of a tool,
right.
And it's more about the deception and the bluffing than it is the actual dice. So it's very much a social game, which I love.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and come down here and capture you.
Go for it. I will happily trade that 1 piece for your 2. And I will actually slide up and there and capture your capture.
Oh, bloody hell. All right. Yeah, it's all right. An attempt was made.
And sometimes it's like you have to sort of give and take to get pieces off the board.
Truth.
And that's why. So when I play attacking, I try to be super aggressive and just get things moving.
Yeah.
And if you focus on me, then you're not focusing on you, and I'm okay with that because then I'm controlling the game. And that's sort of how I like. It's why I'm trash at chess, because I can do that, but because we're both having the same goal, it's difficult for me to focus on one or the other. With this, I have a goal, which is get to your king, and that's it. I don't worry about it. So I've got one thing to focus on. Yeah, I actually find that defending in this is harder than attacking, in my opinion.
It is. It's well, especially because you've got half the number of pieces.
Right.
It's definitely a little bit more challenging. Where I'm just kind of like, okay, where can I move effectively and not sacrifice too much?
Right. Yeah. The way I've found to win the most effective way is to worry about getting the king out. So just like when you're playing chess, when you got to get your rooks exposed, if you treat it like that, think of it that way, right? You've got your pawns, you got to get your rook out. Play like that. Because even if the king's out and doing something, because the king's a functional piece, right?
Right.
If you have him out and moving, then you get him out and moving, and you then change the focus of the game. Right now, I'm just getting to attack you. Whereas once the king moves, I have to pay attention to where he is, and I have to continue moving around him to block him.
Right there.
Oh, there's my girls. Hello, girls. Welcome. Oh, and Patrona said, Countess Inez, Seto's consort, that apparently she has a superpower, that she has an insane skill in drawing out emotions. And yeah, I totally agree with that. That's, yes.
Oh, goodness, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like, they're, so when Seto won, Patrona and I were both there. We were both there because it was at Middle Kingdom 50 year. And literally, when it was declared that he was the winner, first of all, like, just the energy that went through the crowd was amazing.
Right.
The cheer that went up from the entire crowd, I swear, could be heard like three counties away.
Nice.
Yeah, it was insanely loud, and it was like a deafening roar of joy and excitement. Yeah, and it was just incredible. It was already a really cool event because it was the 50th anniversary of the Mid-Realm.
Right.
But then also you have this beloved, kind-hearted, both of these individuals who are beloved and kind-hearted. Inez, who was literally raised in the SCA, her parents are the current baronage of Illiton, which basically sits between Patrona's barony and mine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we all know each other, and it's just really, really cool.
Yeah, I think one of the things the thing that she did that made me cry was one of they were giving an award, and she gave a piece of her legacy jewelry to some child. Oh. Yeah, I was like, oh, that's the heartstrings. There it is. Like it was like a whatever. It was like one of the kids' award. I can't remember which one it was now, but yeah, it was. Or I remember it was her AOA circlet, which she gave a younger girl her AOA circlet, and I was like, ow, oh, that's my heart. Can't handle it too much. Like I'm teared up now. Like, all right, cool, folks in the game. We got
there are a lot of moments like that during their reign, which is really awesome.
Right, and that's I think that's the thing that I love to see, both from cornets and crowns, to do. If you can inspire those moments, you're doing your job right. I know, and I know we hear so much about how much it sucks and the crappy side of that, but then that's the good stuff, and you just can't beat that.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, my absolute favorite part about being a coronet is that I get to give awards, and
right.
we have some. So first of all, we have some incredibly talented scribes in our barony. Like, it is ridiculously insane. We've got some incredibly talented people in the barony, and then we also have our region, the Midlands, which is the Illinois region.
Right.
Our region is known as the Scribal Piranhas of the Mid-Realm. Yeah.
The Scribal Piranhas of the Mid-Realm. Okay.
Yes.
I just made sure I heard that right. Okay.
You did. Yeah, so if the crown says, hey, we have these things that put up for scroll assignments, a lot of our folks in the Midlands will say, I got it. Because there's that drive, and like there's so many talented artists. And they do so many different things. It's so incredible. It makes me very happy.
That's good to hear. That's actually something that I know it's come up on the Between Two Peers server a lot. There's been discussion about scrolls, and it's your move, by the way. I'm not sure if you've moved or not.
I didn't yet.
Okay. It's like, we're playing a game too. That's right now. But yeah, this thing comes up a lot, and I think Meridiers and then the Midlands Mid-Realm seem to have in common is we give out scrolls a lot, and our scribal community is very strong. We have a very strong scribal community in Meridiers, so I'm happy to see that we're not alone in that.
No, not at all.
Because I think that's an important part of that is those scrolls are, they're art, and it's important to have that.
It is, and one of the things I absolutely love is that we do custom artwork for every single piece.
Right.
Every piece is custom to the recipient. There's usually a lot of research and care and love put into them, and it's. I did move. I don't believe
Okay.
you've moved yet.
Okay. I will believe you. I mean, I'll happily take the advantage if you didn't. Let's see. Slide into here and no, not sliding that far. There we go. All right, now it's your move.
All right.
So that's interesting. So yeah, so I in Meridians we have a lot of custom stuff that gets done too. But we have a lot of people that will do scrolls and turn them in, and there's a box of, hey, we need an AOA scroll. Okay, they pull out an AOA scroll. You know, they have some stuff. It's all custom. It's all, you know, it's not like pre-printed things, but it's all things that are pre-done.
Yeah.
And then they have, you know, as some of like the barony things and the, like, you know, the GOA level awards, and a lot of those get custom done just because of people who are doing them. But I actually did some Scrabble work recently. I'll toot my own horn there. I know, like my second, third, and third scroll ever. And I was like, sure, I'll do some Scrabble work this month because it's Scribetober, right? So I have to participate in yards. I am not a scribe. I am not, like, I can keep it in the lines most of the time, but it's definitely not like high tier work. But I'm happy with it for being the stick jock in games guy that I am. The fact that I can put paint on brush and make it not look like crap, I'll take it.
All right. These. All right.
Interesting. I see what you're doing. See what you're doing. Actually, I'll do a little of that. Bring in my reinforcements on the side over there.
Yeah, I see.
Trying to see. So one of the things that I mentioned in the rules was that you can capture with a friendly piece, as long as that friendly piece can't move. So like if you have one of your guys that's also stuck and I can capture you on 3 sides, then it counts.
Right.
I'm interested to see, like, if I can stop you from moving, like, does that still count? Like, but you know, it doesn't. But like, I almost can right now. As I was looking to see, like, I was like, if I can get 2 moves in, you know,
right,
I can actually find a spot. But I mean, you're gonna move. Don't get me wrong. It's just like I could do that actually. Ooh, we got a question. So okay. Runa says, "What's a memorable feast or feast story you like to tell about?"
So funny thing about that. So funny thing about so my quote claim to fame in the mid realm is that I'm a feast steward.
Right.
That's one of the things I love to do, and it's one of the many things I love to do in the SCA. I can honestly say that I bribed the Queen of the Mid Realm, the Queen of the Mid Realm out with fried chicken.
I mean,
You're right there.
Yeah.
So
should have been drinking during that. I almost choked. It's fine.
So January, at one of our annual events, Festival of Maidens, Her then Highness Catherine was there, and I don't know if they do this in all of the kingdoms, but our crown publishes a list of what their preferences are.
Yep.
And that includes foods that they like, dislike, are allergic to, things of that nature. Just in case if you are a feast steward, you can plan around those.
Right.
So I saw Catherine's, and I'm like, and it explicitly said fried chicken. You know, during this reign, fried chicken is to be considered a holy food. So I got to thinking, you know, I could probably do a soul food feast, and that might be kind of fun. So I did. So at Festival of Maidens in January, I went up to Her Highness. I'm like, Her Highness, Your Highness, can I, beg a moment of your time? She's like, sure. So we're having this event in July. It's Ragnarok Rampage. It's all the way at the other end of the kingdom. I understand that's a long trip, but we're thinking about having a fried chicken feast. Would you be interested in attending? So she told me, let me get back to you. Her husband.
Proper response, right? Yeah.
Right, and they didn't know what their schedule was for when they stepped up. Perfectly acceptable. Awesome. So gets closer to the event. I reach back out to her. I'm like, hey, are you interested in? I had reached out to you in January. I'm just touching base with you. Is this something you're still interested in? So she's like, yeah, that'd be awesome. Excellent. We'll see you then. So we started making preparations, and we did soul food. So we had fried chicken, mac and cheese, sweet potatoes, bread pudding. Or no, did not do bread pudding. Did we do bread? We did. I think we did bread pudding. I don't know. We did either bread pudding or peach cobbler, one of the two. Oh, we did peach cobbler because we were going to do vanilla ice cream, but that didn't pan out because logistics happened. And a few other things like cornbread, and we did the whole 9 yards. Your typical Sunday soul food feast, including sweet tea and red Kool-Aid. Yes. So
as a Southern man, I appreciate you, sir.
so it's important to note the site that we're the important thing to note about this site, there is no functioning stove. I'm sorry, there's no functioning oven.
I'm not more
food. Oh, it got really fun. So, we also did a cucumber salad too.
Right.
But so to prep all the food, it was either done over an open grill, an open pit. So they have a pit grill.
Right.
So it was either cooked over the pit, and we had a deep fryer. So all the chicken was hand done in the deep fryer, propane tank. Yep. But everything else was done on the pit.
That's impressive. I mean, I can't cook, so I get it. That's impressive for a feast, especially.
Yeah, it was. We were not amused, and we're kind of hoping that when we go back to that site in hopefully next summer, they will have replaced the equipment like they said that they were going to.
Right.
We'll see if they do. But anyway, so she comes out for this event.
I said fingers crossed.
Right. So she comes out for this event, and we have decided at this point, because we're the barony that has no fucks to give. We are all about hospitality, and we're all about having fun. That's what we do in Carraig Ban. That's what we're known for. And we like to have a lot of fun with it. So as feast steward, my feast tokens for that event were silly straws. So there's actually a photo that's floating around on Facebook that I actually just saw posted a couple times earlier today of all of the, at that point, baronages of the Midlands, so the Illinois region. Yeah. Her Majesty's had retained and Her Majesty all sitting together after feast, like drinking their drinks with the silly straws.
Nice.
In addition, some of our friends from the Shire next to us, the Shire of Dark River, they decided to take it a step further. So they had the red and white checkerboard plastic tablecloth, paper plates, red Solo cups, the whole 9 yards, and just rednecked it up. And I'm like, you know what? This is the event.
You have to commit. It works.
And it worked, and it was a great time. Like, everyone had a really great time, and we didn't have any leftovers.
Right. A good piece then.
And it was also the first time that Patrona and Her Majesty Catherine actually had sweet potatoes. Had never had them before.
Wow. Yeah,
and claimed that they didn't like them, but evidently I'm the only person that can make sweet potatoes for the two of them.
Noted. All right. So it is your move, I believe.
It is. I'm trying to decide where the hell I want to go.
Fair. So, gotcha. Talking is stalling. I understand.
Well, not necessarily stalling, but, you know. Let me go here.
All right. Let's see here. Actually, I will slide this guy back.
That was dumb.
Do a little capture.
That was maybe dumb, maybe not.
It frees holes up, so movement's never a bad thing.
Right.
Unselect capture. All right.
Just go right there.
Okay. Well, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. We'll take that guy. All right, your move, sir. Let's see if I can capture that king, man.
Yes, you anchor. I'm trying to get you to move. Incidentally, I cannot move my king.
Oh, yeah, give me a second. I'll fix it. Sorry.
It's all right.
I knew I missed one last night somewhere.
No worries.
Ignore this. Nobody can see me doing dumb stuff. Nope. I gotta make all players. There we go. You should be able to move now.
Sweet.
All right. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right. And so because I moved into the space, it does not count as capturing. I'm just blocking.
Okay.
See what he does.
I know.
Time grows near.
Yeah, I know. Ah.
Oh. There it goes. All right. Ooh, that was an interesting choice. Okay. All right, we'll do this. So I like this game especially too. It's because it looks very complicated and looks very like this is obviously would be a very pretty set. You know, if you generally a lot of the top boards you see are very statuesque pieces, very pretty boards. But realistically, it's 24 rocks of one color, 12 rocks of another color, and one special rock.
Right.
In a grid. Like you don't have to have a fancy board to play it. I like that. And also, again, you can really customize it based on personas to look different and still be applicable to the play style.
True.
I appreciate that. I see up there. All right, we're going to slide down and capture this guy. I'm whittling your forces down, Your Excellency.
Yeah, I know. Shouldn't have done that.
Now, let's see here. So let's slide right in there.
It's basically game because like there's nowhere else really I can do.
Well, yeah, I mean it's gonna be tight because you have to move a couple of like the king focus is your problem. But you're two, so that right now you have two defenders, and I literally can't stop you because you've got two friendly pieces on either side.
Right.
So I've got to at least deal with one of them and then block the other one in. So we're at least a couple moves out still.
True.
And fortunately with this, whereas defending, you only need one piece to win. Like attacking, you're minimum 4. Like you have to have 4 to capture, or 3, I guess. Actually, you could do it in a corner. or on a side rather. But like it's at least with defending, as long as you've got your king still, you can still get out. Let's see. Yeah, I'll put this on the screen. Finish him.
You know, so
I don't know who that is, but I like.
Oh, I do. So Joshua is actually the head of Clan Bluefeather. He's one of the people who started it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep. And he and I have a long-standing, just like we banter back and forth all the time. So it's Josh being Josh.
Sure.
Is what it is.
I appreciate it.
So do I, because humor is, especially right now, humor is definitely a salve for a lot of things. That's going to be a problem. Sure.
All right. Slide that guy in there. And Joshua, no, we will not forgive you. You will be held accountable for your actions. And I appreciate every one of them.
Right? That's a problem.
Thanks.
That was super dumb.
Yeah. I'll take it. Thanks.
And that's game.
So it's not actually game because your other piece can still move, but we will call it there because it is 9 o'clock and we're pretty close. Thank you, Excellency. I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you.
Like your guy's just like, I quit. I'm out. He's just like, to the side there. Oh, goodness. That was fun. So
it was. Thank you.
At least you know how to play now. So you get the basics. So like I said, the variants are all the same idea, a different board setup. But yeah, we'll maybe follow up in a month or so, and we'll try those out. So
sure, that'd be awesome.
For those watching, thank you for joining us. That was a ton of fun. Sammy, I appreciate you as always. Just you're a delight to hang out with. So thank you for that.
Likewise.
Anybody on YouTube wants to go have some fun, look over to Between Two Peers. That's where we're headed, and see who's over there. So. As always, thank you all for watching. This has been Cal Barter and Sammy in Cal Barter's Corner. Night, everybody.
Night.